So on number 15, we'll start with the prompt like we always do. And the prompt here is telling us this is a grammar question. So let's start reading. In this cookbook, the chef included over 5,000 dishes, including these different ones. Such iconic French recipes, described in surprisingly brief detail in the book, epitomize the Victorian French cuisine the person sought to preserve in his encyclopedic book. So there's a lot going on here. The first thing to point out is that this is a middle modifier. Now, a modifier is a sentence element that's missing the subject, the verb, or both. That's really important because having a subject and a verb is something that makes a part of a sentence a clause. And a clause is the main thing that every sentence needs. So when you're missing the subject, the verb, or both, it's a modifier. It's like this little side information that doesn't really matter as much as the clause of a sentence does. And if it's deleted, a modifier is okay. So the modifier in the middle of the sentence, for instance, John, who dates Tina, went to the mall. That middle part, it's extra information. I just know that John went to the mall. By the way, he dates Tina. So here, such iconic French recipes described in detail in the book, blank, the Victorian cuisine that the person sought to preserve. So it's really important to be able to skip middle modifiers because that allows you to really understand the main part of the sentence. Such iconic French recipes do what? Um, well, if I'm deciding between these answer choices, iconic French recipes epitomize because we're talking about multiple plural recipes. And one thing epitomizes and multiple things epitomize. By the way, if when you got to this question, you had a hard time with the word epitomize or epitome, then you should use vocab tools. You can use ours at gratefultestprep.com or some other websites. But if you're preparing for an SAT, you should be working on your vocab for, 5-10 minutes a day, something along those lines. Vocab can only be enhanced little by little, and it is a crucial element of the SAT. But in any case, like we said, this is plural. Multiple things do something. One thing does something. Now, we can talk at some point, maybe on a different question, about how to choose when you should use has, have, and had. The reason it doesn't matter here is that this is singular anyway. One thing has, and multiple things have. So it's singular. We're dealing in the plural. It doesn't really play a role here. And this is also singular. Um, and so is this. So these three choices are all singular. We'll stick with the plural, and the answer here is A.